Yes.
Basta.
Okay.
Okay.
Eating truth and having fun. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. 710 WOR's Mark Simone. Catch you going to the doctor's office at a 10-year high. Here in the city, we know of at least 125,000 flu cases. More than half of those impacting kids. The city health department did say we've come down from some recent highs. Health experts say current annual flu vaccines are not perfectly matched with the new variant, but still provides protection against serious illness. A CDC study found 90% of children who died from the flu last year were not vaccinated. Pharmacies reporting a run on tests. Demand for over-the-counter cold and flu medications and at-home testing kits jumped 155% over the last 3 weeks, according to data from Walgreens. Andrew Dimber reporting. Nationwide, we know of at least 15 million cases of the flu, up from 11 million just a week ago. This morning, Congressman Josh Gottheimer laid out plans to try to get more federal dollars back to Jersey to help increase access to the flu shot. News time 12:31. Let's get you to where you need to go with Greg Ryan. Wars from just off of the Long Island Expressway on the eastbound D3 westbound flows getting back across the Kosciuszko Bridge with report. And the construction crews are all over the Long Island Expressway. They hit you first near Springfield Boulevard, backing up to the Cross Island, and then the westbound LA loaded again from the Van Wyck over to Maurice Avenue, then with the usual crawl either way through Atlantic Avenue, the LA and long-term construction, both the culprit. In Nassau, the northbound Meadowbrook Parkway is a parking lot from the southern state up to Hempstead Turnpike, with a couple of left lanes out with road and repairs. The northbound Wausau is better. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and the tunnels. Bound George Washington Bridge looks pretty good on the 1010 to the upper and lower level. Out of town to Clark Cross, Coercive, the West Side Highway, the easiest way to skip town. Lincoln Tunnel and Holland Tunnel, no more than a few minutes right now in either direction. Traffic out of here in Jam. Call the Barnstorm Traffic Tip Line at 844-JAM-1010. That's 844-JAM-1010. Traffic is sponsored by Barnstorm. Greg Rice, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right phone is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible. Checking the AccuWeather forecast, meteorologist Carrie Schwindenhammer. There's some sunshine overhead right now. Few clouds as well. A bit of a chilly breeze with a high of 43 this afternoon. The wind will die down tonight. We'll get down to 35 for a low in Midtown. Under clear to partly cloudy skies. Winds go into colder suburbs. Becoming breezy for tomorrow. Sunshine, some clouds, a little bit milder with a high of 46. And a shower to occur late tomorrow night and early Wednesday.
In 500 feet, turn left onto West 38th Street.
Mostly cloudy skies and Wednesday with a high of 48. We're still going to be tracking a storm on Thursday. This big storm primarily should be off the coast. And because of that, we don't expect a lot of precipitation with it. Nevertheless, could still have a little rain and snow at times, especially with a cold front that tries to move on through the area. Thursday's high at 43 degrees. Right now, 38. Some sunshine overhead, humidity 40%, and the winds to the southwest gusting at 25. Again, 38, going up to 43.
Turn left onto West 38th Street.
Carrie Schwindenhammer on New York's weather station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM. Former New York City Council member Raphael Espinal has been tapped to head New York's Office of Media and Entertainment. Mayor Zohar Mamdani just named him to the post. The office handles everything from permitting and licensing to incentives. Mamdani says as commissioner of the mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, Espinal will support our creatives and help ensure New York remains a place where every artist can call New York home. I'm thinking of the actors, the writers, the stagehands, the camera operators, the makeup artists, the technicians who make New York City a union town. And I say that not just as the mayor of New York City, but as a former PA myself. Espinal says he looks forward to expanding opportunities and ensuring the city remains a home for artists. We know too much screen time is not good for you. A new British government study finds for toddlers, while it impacts their language skills.
The study notes under 5 spending around 5 hours a day in front of screens have significantly worse communication skills and vocabulary and those with the lowest screen time. Early childhood expert Felicity Gillespie says that's because language skills form during interplay between toddler and adult. The trouble with the screen is it's a passive one-way transmission of information, which leaves the baby or the toddler passively watching and observing. The British government will publish guidance for parents this spring.
We'll see Barker reporting. One way to cut down on screen time, getting kids some old-fashioned toys, like the ones that require them to use their imagination a bit, like a Barbie. There's a new one now joining the Barbie-verse.
Mattel is rolling out the red carpet for a new Barbie. The toy company's first doll with autism spectrum disorder comes with noise-canceling headphones, loose-fitting clothing, and a tablet with augmentative and alternative communication apps. She also has flexible elbow and hand joints for singing.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto West 32nd Street.
To process sensory information. New Barbie was developed in conjunction with the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network. Price tag? $12. Deborah Rodriguez for 1010 Win.
The Miss Piggy movie being developed by Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone could feature another big name. It's an internet rumor that took itself front and center of the red carpet last night. We'll explain in 1010 Wins Entertainment.
Subaru, Ford's #1 automotive brand for social impact 3 years in a row. Built on trust, driven by love. Visit Subaru.com or stop by your local New York, New Jersey Subaru retailer today.
If you made a mistake and committed immigration fraud or have a criminal record, you may still be eligible to file for a waiver and get your green card. Call Byron Law first at 646-894-5900.
Something good just rolled into 7-Eleven. We are pouring new Johnsonville sausages, hot and ready on the roller grill. Smoked cheddar, loaded with Wisconsin cream cheddar smoked with real hardwood chips. Jalapeno cheddar, golden milky cheddar with a spicy jalapeno chip. Smoked Polish, seasoned with black pepper and garlic slow smoked for serious flavor. And alternate Italian, bursting with basil, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. Right now at 7-Eleven, get any 2 roller grill items for just $3.50. That's any 2 roller grill items for $3.50 at 7-Eleven. Valid to 326 for 15 for only authorized bracket with store for full terms.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place. Where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy place every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary, no substitution. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Big paper stick, or why I'm doing non-medicated fixed papers. And I can take the plastic and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family. Thanks, Mom.
Staples shower nuts with music papers. But you need more comfort for yourself. Use this directive. Now for 1010 Wins Entertainment News. Ariana Grande is into music. She's been making movies. On the red carpet, the Golden Globes last night, she was asked by Entertainment Weekly about joining the upcoming Miss Piggy movie. Says she's a big fan. There had been an internet rumor saying that she would be involved in the project, so she was asked about it in real life. The film is being produced by Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone. Lawrence was also asked about it on the red carpet. She said, "Tell Ariana Grande, please, be in this baby." Adam Sandler has been making movies for decades. What have you did everything from Waterboy to Happy Gilmore to the more recent Jake Kelly. He was given a career achievement honor at the AARP's Movies for Grown Up Awards. During his speech, he said he doesn't know how much time he's got left, joking he might make it to 90 as he starts working out. But he did make a promise to keep making movies, a lot of them, at least 50 more. The Movies for Grown Up Awards will be broadcast Sunday, February 22nd on PBS. Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Sherman & Hill, New York's injury lawyer.
HurtNY.com.
That's HurtNY.com.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happens. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Plan and application may vary. Online health questions required.
Tell your smart device to play 1010 Wins.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 38 degrees with sunshine at 1240 from Capitol Rincon. Here's what's happening. Nearly 15,000 city nurses are on strike. Joining them on the picket lines, Mayor Mamdani.
We are here today where we do not want to be, but where we must be, on the picket line.
We have team coverage on the way. In the middle of Mass at a Staten Island church, a guy stormed the altar, refused to leave, cops had to tase him, then got into a fist fight trying to get him in cuffs. We are waiting for the Supreme Court to announce its ruling on a case that could weaken the Voting Rights Act and play a major role on the midterm elections. Widespread demonstrations against ICE were held all over the country after the fatal shooting of a woman in Minneapolis. Despite that, DHS says it's sending in more officers to Minneapolis. There is a growing debate for something called pink cocaine. So pink is important, and you don't see what it is. We're seeing lots of sunshine. We're expecting a chilly breeze to continue through the afternoon. A high of 4 degrees, almost nothing to feel like.
Hello.
12:41, let's take you to where
Okay.
we go. It's Greg Rush.
So,
Washington Bridge, picking us up on the 1010 which jam cam just as you get off of the outbound upper level on the New Jersey
Okay.
side. You got a crash.
You're going to 583 East 178?
In 900 feet, turn right onto West 31st Street.
What? Yeah, sure. Here, if you have water here, agua, you're welcome. Is somebody else coming or just you? Just you? Okay, we're gonna take the West Side Highway. Okay.
Brooklyn Bridge in pretty good shape, but now we've got trouble on that south end FDR Drive ramp to the Brooklyn Bridge. So you can either deal with that or bail off early on the Williamsburg or
I got my coffee also.
Nassau County, northbound Meadowbrook getting up to Hempstead Turnpike, couple of left lanes out with roading repair work that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So the northbound Wantagh or Seaford Oyster Bay do pretty much the same thing, and they do it better. Greg Rice, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
The nurses are on strike. There are nearly 15,000 of them in the city who walked off the job at 6 a.m. Those nurses work at Mount Sinai, Montefiore, New York Presbyterian. Striking nurses were joined by Mayor Zora Mamdani. Marion Buckley is North New York Presbyterian.
Is your place is close to Morris Park in Bronx? Morris Park? You're not Morris Park in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Because I need to go to that area, Morris Park. Maybe after I drop you out. Like 5 train stop in Morris Park. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's all not too. No. Thank you. I have a coffee. You want coffee? You want agua? I have water.
Yeah, I got water.
It's lunchtime. Enjoy. It's like you're on vacation now. You had appointment over there?
Turn right onto West 31st Street. In 900 feet, turn right onto 8th Avenue. Turn right onto 8th Avenue. In 800 feet, turn left onto West 34th Street. Turn left onto West 34th Street. In a quarter mile, turn right onto New York 9A North.
Yo digo que me duele la cabeza de platicar tanta tiene abajo quinoa, chile de maíz. Ya. A mí me faltan dos o tres cosas. Mira, el camarón yo no me gusta mucho. Yo lo voy a sustituir por pescado. Sí, él puso como una nota. Yo no sé si en esa receta o no. No, pero a mí los camarones, bueno, nada más que me coma uno o dos, pero a mí no me gusta mucho eso. No me cae mal, como que no me gusta mucho. Ya tú sabes, ahora que yo creo que en esa quizá no, pero hay otra que dice que tú no puedes poner opcional si tú lo quieres cambiar, lo puedes cambiar por pescar y otra vaina más, pero no sé si en esa. Y otra cosa, ¿dónde están los? Yo no sé si es donde que están los camarones.
Turn right onto New York 9A North, 12th Avenue.
Yo te dije que lo hiciéramos igual. ¿Cuál que está en el menú? No está desayuno, comida y cena.
Drive northwest on West 34th Street. Then turn right onto New York 9A North. Continue on New York 9A North for 7 miles.
Yo te digo o el otro tipo que yo sí que- pero él no es doctor. Sí, yo digo él que yo sí no es doctor.
Drive north on New York 9A North, 12th Avenue. Continue on New York 9A North for 6 miles. to take Interstate 95 north toward Cross Bronx Expressway.
Mira, yo como ensalada de todas formas, tú no te la comes ni yo toda la vida he comido ensalada y si yo fuera gorda no me gustara tanto porque me gusta esa vaina. Sí, porque es verdad, es así. Que la gente
Keep
que
straight to take Interstate 95 north.
I know you were able to speak with his mother about making this film, and you wanted her to agree before you moved forward. What did
¿Quién
she want
estudia
you
cinco
to
mil?
know about her child? What did she want to know about the film before she said yes? At the time, yes, it was the first step.
In a quarter mile, keep left to take Interstate 95 north toward Cross Bronx Expressway.
I called his mother at the time she was leaving Gaza.
quiera Dios.
In a very horrible situation. She was mourning, but at the same time moving from one house to
Esa
another.
mierda nadie me la engorda. Nada más Dios.
Keep left to take Interstate 95 north.
Since the first call, the representation of resilience.
Ay, claro que no puede ser
She's a very courageous, strong woman, and
Digo,
she
yo
told
ponía
me
iba
my
allí me
daughter is not
rompo.
the
Continue for 2 miles.
Gaza.
turn left onto Webster Avenue, US 1 North.
No, porque pero mételo en la olla de presión, dale 5 minutos. 3. Sí, pero tienes que darle poco, como 3 minutos. Juntado, así, porque empiece a
in the background, and it goes back and forth a little bit. Why would you want to make sure that the audience saw the real red crescent?
Pero Javi, hacer esto y el criado.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto East Tremont Avenue.
Ya Yuri está llena de oro. Eli. Eli que quiere. Y ya. No. No, porque si tú le escribes privado ella te contesta.
Drive north on Webster Avenue, US 1. Then, in 400 feet, turn right onto East Tremont Avenue.
Huevada. A los dos, para los dos. O sea, ese era el de él, pero el mío es. Yo comí menos. Y yo. Ajá, y yo tampoco. La el de él, ¿quién se lo voy a veces ustedes ven esos platos, creen que son.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Monterey Avenue.
Mira esa cantidad.
178th Street. Then, in 400 feet, drop-off will be on the left.
You been here before?
Yes.
Okay.
Drop-off is on the left.
Yo nunca lo he vendido ese mismo. El 5 sí, pero...
Here is good.
El 5, pero en el
Okay,
otro-
thank you. Have a good day. Take care.
Este hombre me está botando y saliendo.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Ya yo me comí uno de estos.
Let's take Crotona Avenue, Pelham Parkway, South Bronx. Turn left on Arthur Avenue. In 900 feet, turn right on East 180th Street. right on East 180th Street. In 800 feet, turn left on Crotona Avenue. In your film, there have been so many stories and pictures of children dying during the war in Gaza. Why do you think the story of hijab broke through?
Because it was recorded. You know, his mother told me, imagine, you see the face
I used to live in Crotona.
with the story of him. Imagine all the voices of the children who were killed without being recorded or captured, you know. And multiply this, we talk about 20,000 killed child, you know. Multiply the pain we felt for him with this number. It's something beyond, you know, the capacity you can do hard to contain.
What's been the response of people to the film? What have people said to you? And something that stuck with you?
Something?
Yeah, something that someone has said to you about the film that has really stayed with you.
Yeah. You know, there are two elements. People are afraid to go to watch the movie. Some people, you know, they don't think that they can take it. And I in general think that you have to bear with this, you know. It's not your life. It's not your life. God, you are privileged. You have to bear with it, and it's really too hard. Do something about it, you know. It's better than hiding. And when people watch the movie, same people afraid, you know. They are very grateful because they witnessed something very strong, and it's a human connection, you know. There is something that transcends about.
Turn left on Crotona Avenue.
We are talking about child, and the most significant feedback I heard from audience I've been doing
7.
HBO documentary film presenting the Alabama Solution. With footage captured on contraband cell phones, this documentary exposes a hidden world of
Speed
corruption
camera ahead.
inside of one of America's deadliest prisons. Oscar eligible, now streaming on HBO Max. The New Jersey Board of Public Utilities offering community solar, focusing on providing solar benefits to low and moderate income households. More at nj.gov/BPU.
The Joyce Theater, presenting Sounds of Echo, a new program by Danielle Simkin, with works by Lucinda Childs, Drew Jacoby, Tyler Peck, and Anne Flamondon. January 14th through 25th. Tickets at joyce.org.
If you believe democracy requires a free press, your station is WNYC, 93.9 FM and AM 820, NPR News and the New York Conversation.
In half a mile, turn right on East Fordham Road, Service Road.
This is all of it on WNYC. I'm Allison Stewart. Let's talk wait times for our favorite shows to return. Look, it isn't you. You're not impatient. The wait between seasons of our favorite shows has grown much longer. After The White Lotus wrapped up season 2 in Italy, fans waited 2 years for the anthology resort series to land in Thailand. After almost 3 years passed between the season 4 finale and season 5 premiere of Stranger Things in November, and Netflix subscribers just learned that some of last year's hit series like Wednesday and Ginny and Georgia might not return until 2027. An article in the Ritter wrote about this, and here with me now to understand what's going on with these wait times is senior editor Ben Lindberger, who covers culture and sports. Hey, Ben.
Hey, good to talk to you.
Also joining me is journalist and data scientist Rob Arthur, who writes about sports, movies, criminal justice, among other subjects. Hey, Ben.
In 0.2 miles, turn right on East Fordham Road, Service Road.
What shows did you love the Wednesday? What shows had you lose interest? What shows benefited from longer wait time? Which ones floundered? How have you seen wait times change the way shows are developed? When it finally returned, did you come back to your show or did you lose interest? Our phone number is 212-433-9692, 212-433-WNYC. You can call or text us, or you can reach out on social media at all of it WNYC. All right, Ben, is this a streaming issue or is this a TV issue?
It's a little bit of both, but it's primarily reflective, I think, of the shift towards streaming and also to prestige TV in general, because you can see that the uptick for the time between seasons starts right around the turn of the century when TV started aspiring maybe to higher artistic
Turn
value,
right on
higher
East
production
Fordham Road,
value,
Service
a
Road.
lot more VFX. There's always a backup for people who do the visual effects for these things, but also the shift from linear TV to streaming kind of decoupled everything from the calendar. So there's no longer really an annual release schedule. It's just that there needs to be a constant stream of stuff. And the faster the better, but if you're sort of staggering releases, then you can get by with some things taking years to return.
Just anecdotally, when did you first notice a really big gap in seasons, Ben?
Gosh, I think we wrote our article inspired by Severance returning for its second season after about a 3-year gap. Stranger Things, which you cited earlier, is a pretty good example because you can sort of see the lengthening of the inter-season time with each successive season. So the gap between season 1 and season 2 of Stranger Things was just a little more than a year. Then it went to almost 2 years, then almost 3 years, then almost 3.5 years between seasons 4 and 5, the final one. And that's with roughly the same number of episodes per season. And Stranger Things is a little unusual in that it was originally conceived as a miniseries, and of course it became a huge hit that had bigger budgets and broader scope as it went on. But that is sort of reflective of how things have gone in general. It can get much worse than that, though. Actually, just this past Sunday, the second season of The Night Manager, the Tom Hiddleston, Olivia Colman spy series, premiered on the U.S. on Prime Video. The first season aired when Barack Obama was president. So I remember liking season 1, but I remember almost nothing about it beyond that because a lot has happened since.
Wow. So, Rob, for this piece, you included 2 graphs, one showing the average time in days between the starts of successive seasons by year, and then there's another that shows the gap between the air dates
Continue on Pelham Parkway South. Red light camera ahead.
What we saw with regardless of what equipment we took or what kind of particular genre we looked at was there was this massive increase in how long season 4 could go on. So whether that was from the beginning of one season in the next and to the beginning of the next, regardless we were seeing big increases
In 0.2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to continue on Pelham Parkway South. Continue on Pelham Parkway South.
It's really taken a turn towards huge gaps between, in particular, the prestige show seasons, and that is interesting and a real change from what it was pretty much throughout TV history until recently.
When did you first notice the big gap?
Coffee number.
Yeah, I think for me it was maybe Game of Thrones, which is sort of an early example of this going on. It's still relatively short by today's standards, but at the time it seemed like I was a big fan of the show and I really wanted to go straight from one season into the next, and it was taking longer and longer and longer the longer the show went on, and I just remember feeling hungry for the next season and not getting it.
The wait between seasons of our favorite shows has grown much longer. The Ringer senior editor Ben Linder and journalist and data science writer Rob Arthur join me to explain why and how it's changed viewing habits. Listeners, we want to hear from you. What shows have you been willing to wait for? Which shows had you lose interest? Our phone numbers are 212-433-9692, 212-433-WNYC. Lana is calling in from Brooklyn. Lana, thanks for taking the time to call all of it.
Really interesting conversation. I was just wondering, Bridgerton, I'm a huge Bridgerton fan, wondering how long it is for the next season, and why there's so much time in between.
Do you have any?
Well, we are seeing one trend which is towards essentially prestige jurals, which is
Speed camera ahead.
old school procedurals, but having sort of a prestige production value so that you can kind of turn these things out a bit faster. But there are some exceptions to what we're talking about here, where you look at Slow Horses or The Bear or Only Murders in the Building, and these have been coming out on this annual cadence, which I think viewers really appreciate.
No coffee number.
Which just returned for its second season almost exactly a year after its first season, and that's by modern standards actually a lot of episodes in a season too.
In a quarter of a mile,
You know, it's a metaphor
turn right on Hone Avenue.
things that used to be
Then turn
popular
right on Esplanade.
regular TV, old school, broadcast or cable, and now the streamers are trying to make it work for them essentially. But yeah, when you have a big hit like a Bridgerton, it's such a huge swing. It's coming back.
In 0.2 miles,
It's been off
turn right on Hone Avenue. Then turn right on Esplanade.
but a lot shorter than some of the examples that we're citing here. Another thing I think it makes sense to mention, there are sort of auteurist creators of prestige TV often. Maybe they're writing the whole thing themselves. There isn't a writer's room. That slows things down. There's a less sort of modular production schedule when it comes to streaming. So often the streamers will wait until an entire season is out, see how it performs, and then greenlight a second season. And the whole thing is written and shot before it comes out. Whereas in the past,
In 800 feet, turn right on Leidig Avenue. Then turn right on Matthews Avenue.
That doesn't happen so much either now. And you have actors who can do many more projects because they're not tied down to one show that's airing 26 episodes a season. That's all they do, which is good because we get to see actors in more roles, but also bad from a scheduling perspective because there are constantly conflicts that you have to work out. Plus, we're seeing...
Turn right on Leidig Avenue.
You might think that
Then turn right on Matthews Avenue.
more care, money lavished on each one, and occasionally binge drops. And that has the effect of lengthening the absence, right? Because if every new episode of a season drops all at once, then you're waiting a longer time to...
Turn right on Matthews Avenue.
Episodes, whereas in the past it would be spread out over the course of many months.
Rob, a lot of people in the TV industry have pointed towards streaming.
In 800 feet, turn right on Pelham Parkway South, Service Road.
Well, I think before streaming there was, and Ben kind of touched on
Service Road.
All of that just started over again the next year. And so because of that, there was a very precise cadence to it that had to be enforced. And that's how we ended up with a very particular kind of annual release schedule. But streaming doesn't have that.
In 700 feet, turn right on Hone Avenue.
It's more about the constant churn of subscribers into and out of a streaming service. And so they, like Ben said, they're more hungry for a constant stream of content whenever it may come out. And that's really changed how we make TV. Another factor in very recent years, there have been some natural disasters that have sidelined television production.
Turn right on Hone Avenue.
Had a huge impact on these production timelines. The LA fires, the actors and writers strikes in 2023.
In 500 feet, turn right on Esplanade. Then make a U-turn on Esplanade.
But they're not sufficient to exploit it. Now that the backup
Turn right. Then make a U-turn on Esplanade.
Whether that lingers and that's sort of the new normal, or we actually do see some speeding up. There's also the fact that we're seeing some down-centered scripted series airing every year. And most
Make a U-turn on Esplanade.
Wall Street has prioritized profits more so than just growth or subscriber counts. And so, maybe if we see fewer shows, the shows that remain will come out a little more regularly, but that remains to be seen.
Let's take some calls. Amanda is calling in from Manhattan. Hi, Amanda. Thanks for calling all of it.
Hi, Allison. It's great to talk to you again, you and your guests. I wanted to add to the conversation on YouTube, the YouTuber Man of Recap. He is amazing in recapping seasons. Whether it's a long nap or a short nap, I think it's like my go-to. So if I don't have enough time to rewatch the first, second, third season of whatever show, the most recent that I've really enjoyed is his recap of, for anyone who's
Pick up my mail.
the first season of The Pit is excellent. And if you're not watching The Pit, I don't know what you're doing. You should be watching The Pit. That's all.
Necessity is the mother of invention. The Man of Recap, the new show. Let's go to Gary in White Plains. Hi, Gary. Thanks for calling all of it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for taking the call. I'd like to mention 2 shows that can't wait for them to come out. One just came out with another season. The other one is pending, but so much has changed in the world around us. That's Fauda and K-Rob. So,
just for the quality of the story, and you had a lot of filler and clip shows and all of those ways to sort of get something on the screen. Now you can take more time and it can be more considered, but it's just such a short allotment of episodes. It just doesn't quite feel like enough to me. So I hope that there is a middle ground where we can spend more time with these stories and these characters, and they can be gone not quite as long between seasons, and it would be manageable, so you'd still be able to have a quality story, not an actor to that one role for that entire year, essentially, but it wouldn't just come back and then feel like it was disappearing for years immediately after that. So I think that's what they're aiming for, as I said, the sort of procedural, take the old school model of a procedural that you can kind of churn out and have a slightly higher level of quality and manage to keep it coming on a fairly dependable schedule.
Rob, network TV often worked on ad-driven models, but with streaming, I'm wondering how subscriber growth and retention will be influenced by having to wait so long for big series.
Yeah, and that's a big missing piece in trying to look at this kind of thing, is we don't know the subscriber counts. We don't know why people subscribe, if they subscribe to watch Stranger Things or something else. So we weren't able to really look at that in the same way as you can, or you could in the old days with TV ratings, where that data was more accessible. But I think perhaps some of this movement back towards longer seasons, shorter gaps between seasons, I think you can kind of see that perhaps TV streamers are reacting to these longer breaks, maybe finding that it does lead to loss of interest over time. But that's speculation on my part, because we just don't have the data to be able to say confidently one way or the other. Yeah, I think as Rob alluded to earlier, the churn rate, sort of the turnover in subscribers from month to month, that is definitely a metric that a lot of the streamers look at, and Netflix is sort of the outlier there, where it has a low churn rate, whether because people are just so used to Netflix being a staple of their media diet, or because there's just so much on there that's been built up. But a lot of other streamers and some of the more recent additions, there definitely is a trend toward people just signing up to watch one show, and then that show goes away and they cancel it. And so the streamers are really trying to look for ways to prevent people from canceling between seasons. And that could be investing in live sports, that could be investing in sitcoms and procedurals, or it could be trying to ramp up the production process so that things actually come back a bit more regularly, and you're not saying, well,
Come back to me.
I don't need to take this for 4 years till my favorite show comes.
The wait between seasons of our favorite shows has grown much longer. The Ringer senior editor Ben Lindbergh and journalist and data scientist Rob Arthur join me to explain why and how it's changed our viewing habits. We're asking you, listeners, what show have you been willing to wait for? What shows did you lose interest? Our number is 212-433-9692, 212-433-WNYC. How have you seen wait times change the way shows are developed? 212-433-9692, 212-433-WNYC. This is a good comment. This text says, the solution is do what I do. Comes the show late, like many seasons in. I discovered both Succession and The Crown when their third and fourth season respectively were launching. I was so exhausted by binging 3 and 4 seasons that I didn't mind the wait.
It's a great life hack. I felt envy for people who've discovered the series I love late, whereas I've had these agonizing, excruciating waits for new episodes, and for them, they can just binge the whole thing because it's there immediately.
This text says, I used to laugh about franchise movies, for example, the James Bond series or Austin Powers, or why not just make a TV show of it the way you would make them continually? That's essentially what TV series are. Is that true? Or has it just changed?
I think that's...
כרטיס, או זה סתם כאילו
אני לא פתחתי, אני ביקשתי אישור שלך, אז אני אפתח עכשיו, נראה מה זה.
אתה לא מרגיש שאין כרטיס? יש כרטיס?
אני לא יודע, זה... עדיף לפתוח, אני לא מרגיש משהו. בוא נראה מה זה.
זה בטח הקליים, שאמרתי להם שאני רוצה לעשות להם קליים.
קליים, אוקיי. אני גם מחכה לאיזה דואר. זה טופס דומסטיק קליים משהו.
שהם ביטלו לי את ה-work permit.
אוקיי, דומסטיק קליים, אוקיי. דומסטיק קליים כתוב, בסדר. זה טופס, מה, שלחו לך work permit והם איבדו את זה?
כן, אני אמרתי לך.
מפגרים.
מה זה מפגרים? ספר לי על זה, אני זאת שיושבת תקועה פה. למי אכפת?
ומה אם כאילו זה ששלח, לא יכולים לשלוח מחדש?
אני שלחתי להם גם בקשה, אבל זה גם לוקח איזה חודש, אז כאילו אני מחכה.
מה קורה עם IBT? את קונה אוכל מזה?
been troubled. The two sisters came out of the same family raised by a grandmother because they lost their own mother to overdose.
Casey's just a little bit younger than
Casey's a little younger than Mickey, and they grow up incredibly close, but at the start of the novel, they are estranged by virtue of the very different paths that their lives have taken. Mickey self-identifies as kind of the good sister who's always made all the right choices, and she has cast Casey into this role of being the quote-unquote bad sister, but those ideas become very complicated over the course of the novel without giving too much away.
Right. We can say that Casey is a regular drug user and a sex worker on Kensington Avenue, right?
Yep, Casey suffers from substance use disorder. She does survival sex work. She goes missing at the same time that a string of homicides is occurring in the neighborhood of Kensington. And although Mickey is used to seeing her sister absent from the streets for long periods of time while, for example, she's trying to get into recovery, the timing of this particular disappearance alarms Mickey, and she decides to kind of investigate off the job as well.
So there's a reading I'd like you to share with us. And it's in the voice of Mickey, the sister who is a police officer, and she's worried about her sister who's been missing. And she goes to see their grandmother, who she refers to as G. They grew up in poverty because their mother died when they were very, very young. She also suffered from addiction, right? Also note that Mickey has a son, Thomas, who is 4 years old in the book. And so that is, we hear a reference to that in the reading.
On the way home, I called G. We speak only rarely these days. We see each other even less. When Thomas was born, I made the decision to give him an entirely different... Often when I do that, I go through a variety of other texts published about some of the themes that crop up in my novels. So it's actually how I found the title of Long Bright River as well, which comes from a Tennyson poem called The Lotus Eaters. With The God of the Woods, I was really interested in primary sources about the Adirondacks. That's the first place I started. I entertained the title The Bark Eaters, which is what the word Adirondack actually means. Ultimately, I became really, really interested in the phrase wood panic, which is the real sensation of feeling completely disoriented in the woods, which often causes people, especially children, to walk in a particular direction without knowing where they're going, which is really dangerous. And one of the phrases that comes up a lot in The God of the Woods is, when lost, sit down and yell. It's emblazoned on different buildings at the camp. It's told to the campers when they arrive. And a version of that phrase was also told to me when I was growing up in the Adirondacks. Another way to say it is hug a tree.
Stay in one place.
Stay in one place and you'll be safe. Wood panic itself contains within it the word panic, which comes from the Greek god Pan, said to be a kind of playful trickster god who liked to make people feel lost in the woods. And it occurred to me that the phrase, the God of the Woods, referring to Pan, could also refer to a number of other characters in the novel, including the Van Lars, who I think mistakenly, or in a self-aggrandizing way, see themselves as the gods of their domain. I thought that's
Let's take FDR Drive, South Manhattan.
Liz Moore's latest novel, The God of the Woods, is now available in paperback. She'll be back to talk more after this short break. I'm Dave Davies, and this is Fresh Air.
Yep.
Speed camera ahead.
Companies know a lot about us. Now they're using that information to charge different customers different prices.
It's legal to do it, and some economists would say the price differentiation is just part of the way that economics works. But to me, that's problematic.
I'm Amy Scott. The problem with surveillance pricing. Next time on Marketplace.
Turn right on Bronx Park East.
WNYC's health coverage is supported by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts by supporting outstanding films, screenplays, and panels at the Sundance Film Festival since 2003. More at sloan.org.
If you believe democracy requires a free press, your station is WNYC, 93.9 FM and AM 820, SPR News and the New York Conversation.
This is Fresh Air. I'm Dave Davies. We're speaking with writer Liz Moore. Her last two novels are both national bestsellers. Long Bright River is about a policewoman in a struggling Philadelphia neighborhood where her sister is the drug user and a sex worker. It was the basis of a Peacock TV series released this year. Netflix has announced it will produce a limited TV series based on Moore's latest book, The God of the Woods. Both books are available in paperback. You're really good at writing. Do you enjoy it?
Writing is something that I always enjoyed having done. So, because I'm a little kid, I write my fiction exclusively between the hours of 5:30 and 7:30 a.m.
In 400 feet, turn left on Boston Road. Turn left on Boston Road.
Actually, no, because my son decided to wake me up twice overnight.
I'm feeling a little off, if I'm being honest. It's a little compulsive for me. If I don't do it, sometimes I feel like I have a bad day. Let's start fast. I do not miss it. I'm okay if I don't do it, but the other
In 900 feet, turn left to Bronx River Parkway South.
Bronx River Parkway South. Bronx
writing is labor for me.
Bronx
All the time. Usually at the very beginning of a book and the very end of a book, it feels like fun. It feels like it's almost a supernatural.
Delivery.
Turn left to Bronx River Parkway South.
Delivery. Bronx Zoom.
Bypass my brain and go straight from something to my hands that are typing. And, if I do that,
Bronx Zoom.
I might not be a writer, but it's sort of like the Impersonating style. That's what you live for as a writer, is that feeling of true breakthrough of solving a problem that has felt unsolvable.
Delivery.
And it's a gift. It's a great gift of my creative life.
Red. Red.
In 1.6 miles, exit right to exit 2W, I-278 West, Bruckner Expressway, RFK Bridge, Manhattan. Speed camera ahead. In 900 feet, continue on New York 895, I-95 South. Continue on New York 895, I-95 South. Continue on I-278 West, Bruckner Expressway. In 0.2 miles, use the left 2 lanes to continue straight. Continue on I-278 West, Bruckner Expressway. Stay to the right to I-278 West, toward RFK Bridge. In 1.9 miles, continue on I-278 West, RFK Bridge toward Manhattan, Queens.
It's because I was afraid of exploring my own true neuroses around food and eating. And although in the years since then I have been open about the idea that Arthur reminds me of myself, at the time I thought, well, nobody will possibly conflate us because I'm going to make him a man and I'm going to put him in a much different body than the body that I had. You know, fiction is weird. I think these days it's become sort of accepted, even expected for the writers of fiction to be asked about the personal experiences that inform fiction. And all of us do it, and we're used to being asked. And yet, I do think all of us would say there's a reason that we write fiction and not memoir. And part of that is because there's a line past which I don't necessarily feel comfortable going when I talk about my own life. And that extends also to members of my family. Because I write about addiction, a lot of people are interested in what's my own experience with addiction and what's my family's experience with addiction. And I've gotten very used to saying, you know, my family has a long history of addiction, but their stories are not my stories to tell aloud. And therefore, that's the phrase that I say, and that's all that I will ever say.
Right. We need to take another break here to reintroduce you. We are speaking with Liz Moore. She's a writer based in Philadelphia, where she directs Temple University's Master of Fine Arts program in creative writing. We'll continue our conversation after this short break. This is Fresh Air.
WNYC support comes from Wisdom Keepers, a new PBS
In half a
series that
mile,
explores the
use the
timeless
left 2
questions of
lanes
who
to
we are
continue
and where
straight.
we're going. Now streaming on pbs.org and the PBS app.
If you believe democracy requires a free press, your station is WNYC, 93.9 FM and AM 820, NPR News and the New York Conversation.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Made in Cookware. Made in Cookware is crafted by chefs for use in restaurants and home kitchens around the world. Their cookware can be found at madeincookware.com. And
Wilson Family Foundation, working to create access to opportunity for people and communities by tackling tough social and environmental
Continue on
problems. More
I-278 West,
information is at
RFK Bridge toward Manhattan,
WilsonFamilyFoundation.org.
Queens.
This is Fresh Air, and we're speaking with writer Liz Moore. Her last two novels, Long Bright River and The God of the Woods, both bestsellers, are now available in paperback. Well, one of the things I discovered in reading about your life for this interview was that when you were younger, I guess in your 20s, you were a singer-songwriter. Can we play a tune? Should we listen to one?
This is going really deep into my archive and my backstory, and I have to admit that I have mixed emotions about it, but I'm going to say yes, because I think it's kind of an important part of the story of how I started writing. So yes.
Okay. All right. So you did have an album called Backyards, which people can find on YouTube. That's where I found it. This is the lead track called Across America. Do you want to say anything about it before we hear some of it?
No, let's listen to it first.
Okay. Okay. Let's listen.
There is solidarity.
Wow, it's overwhelming. I feel bad for them, okay, because they're just
In
trying
half a
to
mile, exit right to exit 46, Manhattan.
People here for routine appointments like Carmen Colon say the staffing shortages at the heart of this strike impact them.
There's like 12 patients for one nurse, and you're calling and calling and calling.
Gotta wait. Yeah. She hopes they get what they're asking for, but says it's a little scary not having them here.
Oh, it's terrible. It really is. And they should get it. They really, really should.
Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The hospitals are apparently digging in. A spokesperson from Mount Sinai said, in part, the nurses' union decided to move forward with its strike while refusing to move on from its extreme economic demands, which we cannot agree to. Montefiore said it was preparing for what could be a multi-week strike. New York Presbyterian said it's ready to keep negotiating a fair and reasonable contract, but accused the union of staging a strike to create disruption. Nurses on Long Island are not on strike. They reached a tentative deal with Northwell over the weekend. A federal judge has had a change of mind and has ordered a hearing over the police seizure of Luigi Mangione's backpack. The accused gunman charged with killing United Healthcare chief Brian Thompson is trying to get items seized by police earmarked as evidence thrown out of the case. And the federal case in which Mangione could face the death penalty if he's convicted, Judge Margaret Barnett says the hearing should include testimony from an Altoona, Pennsylvania police officer about the department's procedures for securing evidence. Several Altoona officers testified during a hearing on the matter in state court. Police have said the backpack included the alleged murder weapon, a notebook, and writings. Prediction markets have become big business, with gamblers betting on who might be the next president of the United States and if the U.S. will invade Greenland. And a New York State lawmaker is not a fan.
Prediction markets have exploded in popularity. Now lawmakers, including Queens State Assemblyman Clyde Van Al, are trying to put the genie back in the bottle.
These platforms allow you to make
virtually any market about anything, it could really create, and it has already, incented really, really bad behavior.
New York's Gaming Commission has sent a cease and desist letter to Kalshi for offering sports wagering without a license.
That is a major problem.
The platforms worth billions are unlikely to comply, insisting they're following federal law. Marla Diamond, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
A Queens man has admitted attacking a 9-year-old girl and biting off an off-duty police officer's finger or part of it. He had come to the girl's aid. District Attorney Melinda Katz says Felice Enrique pleaded guilty to multiple assault charges. This happened back in May when the girl was playing in a street in Glendale. Enrique apparently just walked up to her and started punching her in a random attack. That's when the off-duty cop intervened. The girl suffered bruises and a busted lip, along with damage to her teeth. Watch where you're driving. 'Tis the season for potholes, and the town of Hempstead says it's ready.
Uh-oh, drivers, you know the feeling when you hit a pothole. Your mind races. Am I going to get a flat tire? Is the rim damaged? Town of Hempstead Supervisor John Ferretti says the pothole patrol is now out and about.
A dedicated road repair crew.
He says residents can go on the town's website and report potholes.
They can manually enter the address. Even more impressively, they can click right on their cellular device. The GPS will track the location where they are.
The plan in the future
Use
is for
the right
every
lane
road
to
be
take
paved
exit
in the
2,
town.
Willis
Sophia Hall,
Avenue
10th
toward
Wins,
3rd
92.3
Avenue Bridge.
FM on Long Island.
A drug known as pink cocaine is not actually cocaine, and authorities are warning of serious health consequences.
Well, pink cocaine, or 2C, is pink. It rarely contains actual cocaine. Instead, it's generally a combination of other drugs, including ketamine and ecstasy. Former DEA official Bill Bodner tells ABC News that it's remarkably easy to get.
With social media, with the smartphone, everyone lives in an open-air drug market.
Last year, New York investigators seized pink cocaine along with dozens of guns in a trafficking case linked to a
formal inquiry into social media platform X in connection with Grok. Elon Musk
non-consensual sexual images of women and children. The EU is among those doing the same.
In a quarter
Indonesia
of
and
a
Malaysia
mile,
have banned
use the
Grok
right 3
entirely.
lanes to
President
continue
Trump
on
and
East
Elon Musk himself have
135th
blasted
Street.
any attempt to rein in X as an attack on free speech.
Correspondent Vicki Barker. Instagram and a
Speed and red light
cybersecurity firm
camera
are
ahead.
at odds today over an email you may have received about a password reset. Instagram insists this was not a breach and that it has resolved a problem which allowed an external party to get the platform to send out that password reset. But cybersecurity has a different take on this and insists that email was the result of a hack.
Some really clever scammers found a way to send emails that look just like the real thing. Even the sent from address is an official Instagram domain, except when you click on the link, they got you. Instead, the experts say to check the password and security section of your account settings. If Instagram really sent you an email, the message will also show up there.
Correspondent Chris Mavridis. This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Granger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the products he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done. Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with cold and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Yay! Balloon!
On it, enjoy life's important moments without congestion.
Use the
Try
left 2
Sinex
lanes
Saline
to
from
turn
Vicks.
left on
With
3rd
Sinex,
Avenue Bridge,
breathe.
Manhattan.
Ducky, Andy, and Blaine are coming to a theater near you. That story is coming up next. But first, Wednesday time 2:51. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Greg Wright.
Now, trouble continues to find you in Queens. southbound Van Wyck approaching Linden Boulevard. Now you got the left lane out with a crash in the middle of all that construction. The jam goes all the way back towards Kew Gardens. Northbound Van Wyck heaviest into Hillside Avenue. On the southbound side of the Cross Island Parkway coming down towards UBS Arena, you got the right lane being reopened following a crash, but still awful from the Thrive-Neck southbound Clearview Expressway.
In a quarter of a mile, use the right 2 lanes to exit right. Then use the right 2 lanes to stay to the right to FDR Drive South.
Into and across the inbound lower is better. West Side Highway, best to get out of town. Lincoln, pretty good ride. Either way, the outbound Holland
Exit right.
but inbound 1
Then use the right 2 lanes to stay to the right to FDR Drive South.
Get you over towards the 12th Street entrance to the inbound side of the Holland Tunnel. Brooklyn down Brooklyn Bridge, the U-Wars coming out of Lower Manhattan.
Use the right 2 lanes to stay to the right to FDR Drive South.
County eastbound Long Island Expressway at Roslyn Road, right lane out with a crash, brake lights all the way back to Lakeville Road. Traffic is sponsored by Care Right Centers. Greg Rice, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Your friends at Care Right Centers want to wish you a very happy new year. As the leading provider of skilled nursing and subacute rehabilitation, Care Right Centers wishes you and your loved ones a beautiful start to 2026. Check out CareRightCenters.com. We start where others stop.
Let's get a check now of your accurate
Continue straight for 4.8 miles to exit 8. I-495 toward Midtown Tunnel, East 34th Street.
Meteorologist Brian Thompson.
We've been enjoying a lot of sunshine throughout the afternoon. Starting to see some clouds mixed in, mostly some high clouds drifting in to the west and southwest. And we'll have a clear, partly cloudy sky into tonight. Now, there is a bit of a breeze right now. That will diminish heading into tonight. Low 35 in Midtown, and we'll get down into the 20s in the colder suburbs. The breeze picks back up, though, tomorrow. Sunshine and some clouds. Not a bad day, though, for this time of year. High 46. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a shower in spots late, mainly north and west of the city with a low near 40. We still could have a shower, a bit of rain, well north and west on Wednesday. But close to the city still looks primarily dry. Up to 48 for a high Wednesday. But the cold front still moves through on Thursday. We'll see a mostly cloudy day. There will be a little bit of rain, which could mix with wet snow at times. Might be enough to leave a cluster coating to an inch of snow in far northwestern New Jersey and the Hudson Valley. Maybe even a couple of slick spots as temperatures fall into the 30s. But little or no accumulation closer to the city. And it does turn cold Friday. Highs only in the low 30s despite some sun. 40 degrees right now. It's mostly sunny in Midtown. We're going down to 35. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. Pretty in Pink is celebrating its 40th birthday.
If someone couldn't believe in somebody didn't believe in you, I believe in you. Always believe in you.
And the movie starring Molly Ringwald, Andrew McCarthy, John Cryer, Annie Potts, and James Spader is returning to theaters nationwide. Of February John Hughes coming-of-age films like The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and 16 Candles.
Whether you're hitting the slopes or taking to the trails, get where you want to go in the new 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. With a driving range of up to 581 miles, adventures abound, and pit stops are optional. Love goes the extra mile. Get from the city to the mountains on a single tank of gas. Thanks to the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. Lease a new 2025 Forester Hybrid for $329 a month for 36 months with 10,000 miles per year and 4314 due at lease signing. See participating retailer for details.
Scott Stanford here, and hey, if you're concerned about tariffs and putting off home renovations, you should know that painting is one of the least costly and easiest ways to maintain and increase the value of your home. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters. They'll make your lives easy and make your home beautiful. If you need some exterior painting done for your home or business, call CertaPro Painters at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's Certa with a C. Or go to CertaPro.com.
CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
40 degrees now, sunny here in the city. We are going down to 35 tonight. Now Bloomberg Money Watch, sponsored by Zalman, Schnerman, and Minor, personal injury attorneys.
Right now, the Dow and S&P 500 are in record territory. Dow gaining 64 points, S&P up 18, NASDAQ up about 0.5%, 126. He is a football broadcaster. He's part owner of the NFL's Raiders, and now Tom Brady has another job. He's the new Chief Wellness Officer of eMed, a digital health startup that helps companies manage the cost of covering weight loss drugs for employees. Brady's main role will be to help build awareness for the company, which got to start selling COVID tests, but pivoted to weight loss drugs last year. He will also serve on the board of directors of EMED. I'm Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
We're here with attorney Mark Miner of the personal injury law firm of Dahlman, Schnurman, and Miner. Mark, winter conditions can make walking treacherous. What responsibilities do property owners have in regards to snow and ice?
Well, all property owners must keep their property in a reasonably safe condition. When it comes to snow or ice, this means that within a reasonable time after snowfall ends, all walking surfaces must be made safe.
Now, what must be done to make the property safe?
All snow and ice should be removed. If all snow and ice cannot be removed, then ice melt or sand should be applied.
Do you handle many cases involving snow and ice?
Absolutely. Slipping and falling on ice can result in terrible injuries.
If someone is injured in an accident, what should they do?
They can call us at 1-800-LAW line for a free consultation. We can quickly determine whether there is a claim worth pursuing, and there's never a fee unless there's a recovery.
If you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-LAW line. That number again is 1-800-LAW line.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. Never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happens. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Content on application may vary. Online health questions required. Staples presents Passwords Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting week is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
Lots of Staples. They have great prices on everything, like paint, toner, printers, paper and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select HP printers.
Up to 30% off HP printers. Memorial Day is on the app in 131 select models only.
Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman Shield Link. The Sloman Shield Link transforms your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Imagine pulling into your driveway and with one tap, your home welcomes Sloman Shield Link. Call 833-933. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman Shield Link.
WINS, always nice. From the Free Odyssey app. 40 degrees now. It is sunny here in the city. We are going down to a clear to partly cloudy 35 degrees tonight. A nice windy evening. More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Kyle McMorrow is at the editor's desk. I'm Lori Hatton.
All the time. It's 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York. Good afternoon, fair skies and 39 degrees at 3 o'clock. I'm Larry Mullins, and here's what's happening. Keeping tabs on developments out of school in Long Island City, where police say a big fight between a pair of students turned up a loaded gun. The weapon wasn't fired, but it put the school on high alert and one kid in custody. Also today, the nurses strike. Some 15,000 caregivers on the picket lines today after no agreement was reached over the weekend with several local hospitals. Amir Hamdani and other leaders are out with them today. In Bushwick, they managed to subdue the guy after beating him with a blunt force object, but not before he allegedly fired off a round from a gun, injuring two men. We'll have more details on that. Meantime, two NYPD cops sentenced today for sexually assaulting a woman. Prosecutors say she was too drunk to fight them off and tell them no. DA says they took advantage of her. And a throwback to the days of Pac-Man, and they're celebrating the 45th birthday of a game that was part of the fabric of our lives with a big exhibit at the Paley Center. We'll tell you more about it. AccuWeather says tonight, clear to partly cloudy skies. We will drop down to a low of 35 degrees. Wednesday time 3:01. From your Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com traffic center, it's where you need to go. And here is Greg Wright.
Now, here is what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. City bound to the Georgia mess on the upper deck, a 45-minute trip. Inbound lower is better. The West Side Highway, the best of it out of the Bronx, North End, the best of what you've got. Lincoln, pretty good ride in or out of the city. The outbound Holland, about an extra 10. The inbound Skyway is awful. Newark Bay Extension does it better. Brooklyn bound Brooklyn Bridge, by far the worst of it out of lower Manhattan. The Manhattan Bridge, the Williamsburg Bridge, the Battery Tunnel, all much better bets. Still in recovery mode. On the southbound Cross Island coming down to UBS following a crash. You're slow from Northern Boulevard. And the southbound side of the Clearview Expressway, usually our shining star, that's the southbound Clearview, is starting to load up coming down towards Northern Boulevard. And it looks like a crash in the left lane is why. Southbound Van Wyck Whitestone Expressway gets you from the Whitestone Bridge to Northern Boulevard in pretty decent shape. The Long Island Expressway eastbound flows over to the Clearview, and then in Nassau, eastbound LI still messing from Lakeville Road to Rockland Road because of an earlier crash. Traffic is sponsored by Chef IQ Sense. Buy one today at chefiq.com. Greg Rice, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Not a bad day at all to start the week, but by the weekend you'll be bristling, carrying an umbrella, and possibly wearing your snow boots for a little while. AccuWeather says it's going to be another one of those weeks where you'll see Old Man Winter's full swing. Meteorologist Brian Thompson here in the Weather Center with more for us, Brian.
Eventually some colder air returns later in the week, Larry, but the next few days not looking too bad. Temperatures near or above 40 in many spots right now. It's actually see temperatures in the upper 40s over the next couple of days. Anything that falls will be in the form of some rain showers. Then colder air moves in on Thursday. Might be a little bit of wet snow that tries to mix in with the rain, but we're not anticipating really much in the way of snow accumulation with that. And then it does turn colder. Friday's highs only in the low 30s before temperatures bounce back a little bit heading into the weekend.
Larry, thank you, Brian. Some disturbing news out of Queens at this hour, where police say a teenager was at school today with a loaded gun. Police say it was spotted after a big fight at Long Island City High School on Broadway. Sources say the school safety officer found the firearm, I should say, after breaking up a fight between the teenager and another kid. There were no injuries. The weapon was not fired, by the way. The teenager was taken into custody. Charges are pending now. NYC schools put out a statement saying this incident is deeply concerning and an example of the proliferation of guns in our society. The statement saying the item was quickly recovered by the NYPD and all students and staff are safe. The other big story, of course, the nurses' strike. They say management has ignored their concerns for years and days. Thousands of NYC nurses hit picket lines at several hospitals in the area. Some of the bigs involve people who say there's not enough, but they're having to work their smocks off because they're short-staffed. A lot of patients we spoke with today say, yeah, I feel that. We're up to our more reaction from them in a moment. But sure, off we go to the picket line. Reporter Marilyn Buster, Southwest Tour.
Well, on the picket line outside of the hospital they work at. Attorney General Assistant Dean showing up a New York president. That management not cut their benefits. 3, that they recognize the importance of safe staffing. Nurses like Cordy, who works in the NICU, says the number one reason they're striking is for patient safety. We can't get our baby.
Prosecutors say 42-year-old Julio Alcantara Santiago and 34-year-old Christian Garcia were off duty and out drinking with the victim at a Bronx night spot in July of 2023. They were seen on security video holding her up by her arms as they left and as they entered Alcantara Santiago's apartment.
In 0.2 miles, use the right lane to exit right.
To the two cars.
Exit right to exit 8.
Either man's attorney is getting return messages.
Speed camera ahead.
Here in Lower Manhattan, it's sunny out. We're going to see temperatures tonight falling into the low 30s. For tomorrow in our area, much the same, mostly sunny, high of about 45 degrees in the afternoon. It's going to get windy again tomorrow night. We'll see gusts up to about 20 miles an hour, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the low 40s.
Turn right on East 37th Street.
We could see some rain, a better chance of that rain in the afternoon. Highs reaching the upper 40s with cloudy skies, more rain possible on Wednesday night. Especially after midnight, we'll see temperatures in the mid-30s on Wednesday evening.
In half a mile, exit right to exit 7, East 23rd Street.
15 years ago this month, a gunman shot then Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords in the head at point-blank range. Giffords has since become a tireless advocate for gun safety. We can't wait for Congress to act. We will win in the states and hold the gun industry accountable. Gabrielle Giffords on recovery, hope, and gun violence prevention on All Things Considered from NPR News.
Red light camera ahead.
Today,
in 0.2 miles, use the right lane to exit right.
This is 1A. I'm Jen White. And I'm Todd Swilling.
Exit right to exit 7. East 23rd Street.
The seizure and arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro asserted control over the country's government and took over its crude oil
In
industry.
700
According to
feet,
Venezuela's
turn right
Interior
on East
Ministry,
23rd Street.
100 people died in the United States attack and arrest of Maduro.
Since September, the administration has killed at least 115 people and 30 boats.
Turn right on East 23rd Street.
But President Trump's military actions in the region are raising serious questions about U.S. intervention abroad.
I am a Venezuelan American, very disgusted with what the President Trump said and is doing with my country. The person that is in charge is guilty, it's not Maduro. My friends and family are being detained every time in the highways, in the streets, and ask for documents, and they cannot see anything or say anything about the government. They have to go to the street to protest for the liberation of Maduro. So the person in charge is guilty. The U.S. government took the clown of the circus and left the circus running. Maduro has to be here in prison, but Trump is doing that very badly.
Last week, the Senate advanced a measure limiting President Trump's power to take further military action in Venezuela. President Trump is also now threatened military intervention in Iran amid crackdowns on protests in that country where 500 protesters have been killed. And meanwhile, here in the U.S., federal agents shot 3 civilian blockades, injuring a man and a woman in Portland, Oregon, and killing a woman in Minneapolis. This weekend, there were protests across the country.
Later, we kick off our series.gov and talk about how President Trump has reshaped the federal government in his first year of his second term. But first, in today's installment of our weekly politics series, if you can keep it, President Trump's military intervention abroad means with a focus on issues here at home. Joining us for this conversation is Paul Post. He's non-resident senior fellow of foreign affairs and public opinion at the Chicago Council of Global Affairs. He's also an associate professor of political science at the University of Chicago. Professor Post, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Also with us is Andra Gillespie. She's an associate professor of political science at Emory University. Professor Gillespie, as always, great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And Rachel Myrick. She's an associate professor of political science at Duke University, where she researches how partisan polarization affects foreign policy making in democracy. Professor Myrick, welcome. Thanks for being with us. Everyone hears from you. What do you think about President Trump's intervention in other countries? If you feel like it distracts from other issues, what issues do you want this administration to focus on instead? Email us at 1a@wanu.org. I want to start with this clip of then Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump speaking from the campaign trail in 2024.
What a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars.
In a quarter of a mile, use the left lane to turn left on 3rd Avenue.
ISIS has been defeated in fall. Last month, ISIS killed 2
Speed camera ahead.
civilian interpreters in Syria in response to U.S. launched several rounds of retaliatory strikes against ISIS. But Professor Post, let's start with President Trump's military actions in Venezuela. Just briefly remind us what he's doing in the country and how it fits into the administration's broader interventionist policy.
So, in a nutshell, the best way to think about what Trump is currently doing in Venezuela is to put into context of something that he has made very clear, and I have said a number of times, which is that Trump is going to be a great 19th century president. And the reason why I said that is obviously that's a bit of a problem when you're in a 21st century world. But what I mean by that, and this is something he has made very clear going back onto the campaign trail, is that
turn left on 3rd Avenue.
That he admires the policies that were pursued by them. Now, he typically would bring this up in the context of William McKinley and with respect to tariffs, but he has also talked a lot about intervention. And recently, he has brought up time and again the Monroe Doctrine, which of course goes back to 1823, President Monroe. It was a policy of non-intervention by European powers in the Western Hemisphere. And then that was updated by Theodore Roosevelt in the early 20th century with the Roosevelt corollary kind of asserting that the U.S. had a right to intervene in other countries. And with his most recent national security strategy, which was issued back in December, they put forward what they're now calling the Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine, which is a further assertion of its ability to be able to intervene
in the Western Hemisphere and kind of having this focus on the Western Hemisphere and any issues that they think are a threat to U.S. national security. So I think that's kind of overall a very important piece of context for them thinking about what is happening in Venezuela. And then the specifics to Venezuela is that his first term, he has used Maduro as against U.S. interests, and of course that's actually not even...
In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Madison Avenue.
Obama, even going back to Chavez, who of course was the successor to Maduro.
In 0.2 miles, use the right lane to turn right.
Has gradually ratcheted up this pressure, going from just sanctions to then, of course, the military strikes, the boat strikes that we saw in September, to then mobilizing naval forces more fully in the region, and then finally culminating in this of course, that happened right after the first of the year, just last weekend. So that is, again, the context in which we should be thinking about this action, and what we've seen is just this gradual ratcheting up of pressure towards Venezuela. We are right now, certainly true as we played that clip of Donald Trump from back in the campaign. There were not a lot of indications of the coming new imperial Trump presidency if you were following that campaign back in 2024. But Professor Gillespie, as we mentioned at the opening of the hour here, the Senate advanced a bill just last week to limit Trump's military actions in Venezuela. 6 Republicans voted for that. Can you tell us about this measure and the significance of it coming from a GOP-controlled Senate at this time?
Well, it's important to put it into context. So you have a handful of Republican defectors. This is largely Democrats voting in a block and then having some support from some Republican senators. There has been some concern about separation of powers, and we will occasionally hear senators actually expressing the need for Congress to reassert its Article I authorities in terms of making sure that if the United States is going to be engaging in military action, anything that looks like military action at the hands of the commander-in-chief, that it has authorization from the president.
Turn right on Madison Avenue.
They were even pushing President Obama on these issues to make sure they wanted to spend more time. Defense authorization kind of based on terrorism from the go around the world. It's like policemen, and so this is just another example of some senators actually attempting to assert that. The problem is the institutional rules about bill passage in Congress basically render this action largely symbolic. So yes, they did it under a simple majority in the Senate, but it's got to get through the House, and then it actually has to survive the judicial process. And so I don't see it getting through the House. I certainly don't see it having to go through the arguments in both chambers to be able to withstand a presidential veto. But what it does do is it does put, the senators who voted for this authorization, who voted for this restriction of presidential power on the record, that they actually are trying to assert the boundaries and separation of powers kind of on the president, who seems to really want to challenge this at every turn. And one of the things that I do think is interesting about this is that if you pay attention to where the defections are, the one name that really surprised me when I heard about this vote last week was Senator Josh Hawley. So, I was expecting to see Lisa Murkowski. I was expecting to see Susan Collins. I knew Rand Paul would be a part of this, but to see somebody who's a staunch conservative and somebody who has supported MAGA causes before, like Josh Hawley, is something that's very interesting and noteworthy.
Professor Myers, we started off talking about Venezuela. The President Trump is also pressing for U.S. control of
Daniel.
He is dealing severe damage to our alliances and putting the U.S. in a increasing opposition even to our closest allies. To make us all forget peace isn't quickly at home. Professor Myrick, we heard Professor Coates' analysis there, but I want to add to this because you said that based on research turning to foreign intervention, you were withdrawn away from domestic unrest.
עכשיו אני מבינה שקצת חורף, היום האלה ממש חשוב. יש שם לשכת עבודה כנראה. תפוס יוזמה ותלך לשם ותגיד אתה בירושלים, אתה מחפש עבודה, באיזה תחום שאתה רוצה, ואם יפתחו במחשב ויראו מה מתאים לך. אתה לא יכול ככה להיות, דניאל, אתה לא יכול. אתה אשכרה הפכת את הלילה ליום ויום ללילה. תשמע פעם אחד בחיים שלך, פעם אחד. אתה מאז שיצאת אני לא רוצה לחזור על זה, אתה לקחת את המושכות יותר מדי משכת את זה. מאז שיצאת מהמעצר. אתה אמרת לעצמך, זהו, אני גבר עכשיו, אני...
מי ידע שבגלל האהבה אני אמצא את עצמי עובר ככה דברים? מי ידע?
לא שמעת.
מי ידע ולא שמעתי? איך אישה יכולה לבנות גבר?
אתה רואה? לכן אתה האישה והיא הגבר. אתה האישה והיא הגבר. היא יכלה עליך, כי מילה שלה אהבה ולא המילה שלך. היא שלטה עליך ועל המוח שלך. היא סיבבה אותך על האצבע שאולי יש לה ציפורת או אין לה ציפורת. זהו, זה נגמר. לא מדברים, לא מזכירים, לא שום דבר. יש בית משפט ויש עורך דין שידבר בשמך. זה מה שאתה צריך לעשות, בשביל לזכות בילד שלך. זהו. רק הם יעזרו לך, ובעזרת שתחליט לחזור לבית. אנחנו נלך בכוחות שנשאר לי, ללכת איתך לבית משפט, אנחנו מלא תפסים, אנחנו נבקש בקשה לעורך דין, אבל אתה אל תהיה עצלן, אתה תבוא. צריך מוניות, כי אתה לא עולה באוטובוסים, אתה תשלם על המונית. ואז זה החיים שלך ישתנו. והם יקבעו לך פעמיים בשבוע, פעם בשבועיים, הילד יהיה פה, הילד יישן איתך, הילד ישחק איתך, הילד ילך לבריכות איתנו, ילך לאן שצריך, לא תהיה לה ברירה, לא תהיה לה ברירה. רגע, תראה גם כבר שנייה באתי להרים את הילד לגרים, צודקת, אתה תינוקות. אין לינוק. זהו, נגמר היניקה. אתה כבר גדול, אתה גדול.
גם בזמן לא הענקתי,
בסדר. לא, נגמר לך לבלי כולם. עכשיו אתה צריך אישה שתתמוך בך ותעזור לך, ואתה תעזור לה.
יש פה מישהי שעדיין מניקה. נבוא לה לאיזה חצי שעה בין דקות. אתה עוזר לי.
לא, עוזר לך שתשים עכשיו שיר ותשיר ותהיה שמח ותצפצף על כל האלה של המקקים והמקקים והמקקים.
רוצה לנהוג כי מה יש פה מישהי אולי פה. זה יעזור לי.
תצבע אותי, תיקח בובה.
אני אוהב חלבים.
חבל היום זרקתי מהגן 2. הייתי ביאה לך. די חיים שלי, די, אבל אתה בן 28 וחצי ואתה מתנהג כמו איזה אחד
אני רוצה ציצי.
די, נו.
מה, במקום ביטים הסבבה זה לחפש ציצי, אמא.
אני אביא לו משהו, חכי.
אמא, במקום ביטים עכשיו דניאל ציצי.
Red light camera ahead.
שים אותה וזהו, יאללה. תאר על זה בלוט שחוש, כאילו פתמות.
עכשיו אני מחפש. חברים, אני מפרסם עכשיו את המספר, הטלפון שלי, יש פה מישהי יכולה להעניק אותי? לכבד אותי?
להעניק אותך?
כן.
יש להם תקוות מפלות. מצאתי לו מצווה. למה אתה לא תלך לעבוד אצל שמעון?
זה באמת מה ששמים.
להסיק.
באמת מה שבנות שמים.
זה סיליקון. זה סיליקון.
באמת אתם שמים את הדברים האלה?
למה לא תעדיף תעבוד? תקשיב לי. תתחיל לעבוד אצל שמשון לבינתיים, במקום הבני דודים.
למה אתם שמים את זה? יכול בסרט.
דניאל.
מה אם לא? זה קצת
תשאי איתי רגע.
מה שקרה בנות שמו דברים כאלה?
תהיה איתי רגע. תתחיל תעבוד אצל שמשון לבינתיים, במקום הבני דודים שיעבדו שם. זה קרוב ללירס. תעבוד כמה חודשים, יהיה לך כסף, תקנה לך אוטו קטן, אוטו שישמש אותך רק לעבודה ולבית, לא יותר מזה.
לא, מה את רוצה? תגידי לי מה? תגידי לי מה? בסדר, חזמתי. אפשר ליטוף בקרחת?
יאללה, לירס, תשאיר לי שטח נגע לקרח.
יאללה, תביא לי את הקרחת. באמת, אבל תביא לי את הקרחת.
ליטוף קטן, יאללה, נו, שיצא ממך, נרד ממך. כן. אבל אני גם כשהוא פה הייתי מלטפת לו את זה. אתה רוצה לך זה יהיה חלק מחוספס. אתה רוצה להחליף את השב"כ? ואני לא. רוצה להחליף. היא רוצה להחליק לך בקרחת למטה או מה?
טוב, אמא.
די, באמת, אבא, אנחנו קצת צוחקים קצת זה. תעשה לי נחת. שאני אראה אותך כבר מסודר. אני לא יודעת מה ייוולד מחר. איך אתה, מה מילת הקסם שהמדריך שהיה אומר לך כל הזמן?
רק להיום.
נו, אז תעשה לי את זה שזה יהיה רק להיום. כי אני לא יודעת מה ייוולד מחר. אני קמה בבוקר, זה רק בזכות בורא העולם, שאני מדברת איתו בלילה.
אמא, אני רוצה...
בסדר, זה גם יבוא. גם יבוא.
אבל אני לא רוצה לחכות עכשיו עוד 8 חודשים, 9 חודשים.
בסדר, אנשים רואים אותך בטלפון.
Hey, it's Profanity. With the Experian app, you can cancel your...
לא אומר כל דבר רק על הזה שלי ועל הזה שלי.
אני אומר לך.
תעשה לייב שמח, לייב כיפי כזה. אז יראו שבאמת אין עליך, אתה השתנית מקצה לקצה. ואל תראה שאתה בדיכאון, גם אם אתה בדיכאון, תשכח את זה בצד.
מה הבעיה?
תשכח מה יש לך.
אני לא בדיכאון.
cold case. Pick papaya from school. I'm in the area. I mean, you only pick you up. It's getting cold outside. Pick you up and then we go pick up iron. Okay, see you soon. But be downstairs ready. No, it's not too early. I'm in like in old school. So by the time I get to your home and then go there, it's gonna be too close. You're gonna be close to date, close to the time. So be in the lobby. See you soon. Downstairs. Yeah? See you soon. Hey, took you so long. Yeah. Look how she holds the baby. See a cute baby. Cute girl. There's plenty soup, alay soup from yesterday. I put it back in the jar. I can reheat it, yeah? Okay, like one more time. That's it. Okay. I just ate something. So it happened I took lady in the morning. You know, when you left the hotel, I thought she'd go to the airport, but she's going to New Jersey. She said she has a meeting in Starbucks with Amazon customer. I don't know. She said, if you wait, I come with you back to the city. Only 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I said, okay, you know, I got coffee, I make some phone call. Then I come back in 45 minutes, I wait 10, 15 minutes, she didn't show up. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna start the app. I start Uber and Lyft. I got job from Lyft, from over there back to the city. And she called me 15 minutes after I left. She said, where are you? I'm here waiting for you, I'm ready. I said, it's almost 30 minutes, then, you know, you not show up, so I left. So I thought you were gonna come in 45 minutes, but you didn't show up. Oh, the meeting stretched another 20 minutes. I said, sorry, take somebody else. Yeah. I think best not to deal with people, just drop and go, you know, because they're not predicted. Then they can get mad at you or complain on you, you know what I mean? Yeah, but no, I made some phone calls, but even if it just not work, because just turn on the app, I get other people, you know. Even Uber send a message, they say no pre-arrange, like they don't like this kind of monkey business, you know. They say no pre-arrange. So just let it go. So I did Lyft, Uber, and you know, Journey. Oh, I have to call him. So Journey, they asked me to take $6, but she was only one person. Sometimes when I asked $6, she said, oh, I'm only one. It's 6 if we two, you know what I mean? So I'm not arguing with them, so she only gave me 3. Spanish lady, she said, do you want food? I have food. I said, no, thank you. I have a drink if you want water. She want to give me food. First she asked if she can eat, you know. She was eating sandwich. Then she asked me if I want half. I said, no, thank you. They told us never get drink or food from customer, because sometimes the drink or food can be contaminated with some sleeping something and they can rob you, you know.
You can pick up on it by yourself.
No, dangerous. Hello, how are you? מה קורה? Yes, השארתי את זה שמה והרמתי את האופניים למעלה גם כן. אז מתי שתבואי תקחי. צריכים לסדר, מה אני אעשה? צריכים לסדר. ראה, הרבה דפים, יש איזה 8 דפים למרות. כן.
אבל אתה צריך להפסיק לשים שם דברים, זה לא הגיוני.
לא, בסדר, מה לעשות?
מה, זה לא נורמלי.
כן.
זה מחלה. אתה רוצה לפתוח הכל.
Miriam, where are we gonna stop, Miriam? You don't know? No, אני אומר למרים פה איפה אני אעצור. I'm gonna stop there, okay?
לא, אתה צריך לפתוח הכל בשביל מה זה? זה הכל זה.
נכון, אתה צודקת. איזה שבת או ראשון אני אלך, אני...
אני לא מבינה. גם מה זה שיש לו את המחלה הזאת? תפסיק כבר, מה זה?
כן, ויקטור שם טוב גם יש לו ככה לעשות. בגלל זה אני מזכיר מחסן.
בסדר, עדיין, זה עדיין זה עבור. מה איך אתה בכניסה? יש לך לעבור?
בסדר, נשמה.
מי קבור?
את כבר עזבת, אתה חזרת לברוקלין?
אני בברוקלין.
טוב, אז אם את באזור של המחסן, תקחי את המכתב, תמלאי אותו.
כן, אבל לא היום.
מתי שנוח לך, מתי שנוח. אולי בימים הקרובים אני אהיה שם שוב, כי אני צריך לקבל גם דואר משם. אז אני יודע לך אם קיבלנו משהו. מרים, you see this kind of job, it's called con job.
צריך, נראה לי בחמישי להגיע לי איזה משהו.
טוב, אני יודע לך. אוקיי, נדבר, כל טוב. See, that's the job good for you on Eli, Miriam. It's called con job. Maybe she's in the playground. Oh, it's good to pick her up in the car that she won't get sick after swimming or she's wet, you know. I want to ask this guy how they get this con job, but they don't like to talk. You see, my plan was to come here and park here, but you see the whole street is taken, you know. I mean, I can leave it here. Cat lady, she said, they sent her a work permit, the government, but the post office lost it in the mail. I don't know where is it. So they asked her to file a complaint. You gotta go check. So I got $3. Journey, I put it here. I hope she's not gonna take it because I wanna leave it for tomorrow. You think so? Oh my goodness. Tell her to give you $2. This morning she said, how I wish I had $3 more than I can give Mama $2. So do a test, let's see if she's gonna give you $2.
Mama, you only have one shoes. You have one shoes because it's too expensive. I don't have enough money.
Really?
Can I borrow money so that I can buy shoes? How much? 100. You already borrow 100. You're gonna borrow 100 again? Yes. Can you make it 150? Okay. Can you borrow 50?
She's generous with you. She's not generous with you. But why you have one shoes? I don't understand.
No, like only one pair of shoes. I only wear one pair of shoes.
Oh, this is what she meant.
Yeah, that's what she meant because she has how many shoes?
Oh,
3
okay.
shoes.
I have one pair only. Let's see if I ask her.
Yeah, try.
Give me money, see if she's generous.
No, borrow, don't give.
To borrow, okay.
Borrow, yeah.
Borrow, let's see if she's generous. Maybe I don't think she's generous.
She didn't ask. Why? What were you gonna use it?
She's
Tell her to buy new shoes.
she's tough with me. Oh, I'm still in line. Go.
4 o'clock.
It is 4 o'clock.
It's not. It's cold outside today.
You want my hat? I found another hat. Did you wash the other hat?
No.
Remind me tonight to do the laundry because it's gonna get smelly.
Do the bathroom too.
All in all. this lady, she just walked to the street without looking. She could get hit by the car. You know what they did? Shopify, you know Shopify? You know, it's like app selling. They hired like 10 Uber cars to put the advertisement around, you know, wrap with green paper. They give him like $200-300 a day. Like I could do it too. See you later. I'll be leaving soon, yeah. But okay. I'll move back, yeah.
I knew it.
You
I
knew?
knew it thought it was gonna pick me up.
How you knew? Because it's too cold?
No, I just knew because it's swimming.
Because it's swimming? Swimming is that...
No. I want to switch. I want to switch.
Swimming is recommended to pick you up, Ayan. No. It's for tomorrow, not today.
I don't know mine. Wait, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I got $10 today.
What about me? Can I have $2 for me? No, I want $2 too.
No, I only have $1.
Okay, just give it. Give it.
I'm not gonna give it.
Ayana, I only have one set of shoes. Can I borrow money to buy shoes?
I'm gonna allow Mama to buy shoes, but not you.
Why? What's the difference? I only have one shoe. I want to get
Mama asked first.
friends. Mama asked first.
I cannot give you 150 and I cannot give Mama.
Okay. How about 50?
I'm gonna give you and give Mama.
I don't need you. It's okay. There's no place in the house for me for more shoes.
Yeah, well, I do.
How
I
many?
can steal your area.
How many shoe rack you have?
I have a lot.
2, 3.
I have a lot of shoes.
How many shoes you have?
I have a lot. I have a lot of shoes that when I have 2 shoes, I put them in both one section.
Really? And you have sneakers. You have shoes for the house. You have shoes for the street.
I have multiple shoes for the house.
You have winter shoes.
I have high heels.
You have high heels. You have boots. You have sneakers. What else you have?
I have this shoe.
This shoe. Oh, this is winter shoes. What about me? I got nothing. Everything.
And literally, Kieran did not let me play with it. Cause when I was going down the stairs, Kieran said, "What?" I said to Kieran, "What are we gonna play?" And then he said, "No, like you don't have enough power." And then when he said that, he said, and then Leia said, "You're allowed to play." And then Kieran said, Leia said, "You're not allowed to play."
Kieran.
And I know he was blaming it on
Talking
Leia.
about Kieran.
Yeah, he was blaming it on Leia.
Seriously.
Because Julian knowed and I know that.
Miriam, you know the pool in my section is closed for renovation.
And also, I once did not listen to him because then Kieran said I'm not allowed to touch the Rex. I literally touched it I literally touched it this morning when he did not even tell me. Literally,
No Jacob today? No Jacob and Sweet?
and I literally touched the wheel of I got a while and then I did not get a while.
You got a while, you don't get a
to fly?
Today. Today's not today. Mama, what am I gonna do?
She cooked, she said.
Oh, you don't want this book because you still have the book.
Yeah. So I need to finish it in 1 week.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Peace and love, peace and love. Remember, stay in life. Say bye-bye.
I know how to.
See you tomorrow. Peace and love. Say peace and love. Okay, thank you.
I know how to. Read it for 15 minutes. Yeah, I really want to read it for 15 minutes. I want to read it for 15 minutes, just learn the same routine. How